Now we're going to stitch some 90-degree corners kind of the same way as we did the curves. Straight stitch, 2.5 inch or 2.5 length, and just have 2 fabric squares together, and just kind of maybe do a 1-inch seam allowance again with a stay stitch. Stitch until you're about 1 inch away from the edge. Okay, and now when your needle is in the down position, lift up your presser foot, rotate your fabric, put your presser foot back down, and stitch to the other edge. And then a stay stitch, and trim your threads. Now, I want you to do 2 of these because we're going to do 2 different things with that, just like we did with the curves. All right, kind of the same principle is going to apply to the 90-degree angles as they did to the curves, but I still want to walk you through it. We're going to do an inside square where we actually get the square shape. So just trim your seam allowance to about 1/4 inch. And then with this, because when we invert it, we're going to have a bulk of fabric, we actually need to notch that fabric out. You can either cut a notch, but just be really careful not to trim where your seam is, or you can just cut straight across right there, and then as everything comes together, these lines will almost line back up when you turn your fabric right side out. So, and you may need a little pole like this. I use these little dowel rods. You can use the eraser end of a pencil or something like that just to make sure everything's poked out nicely. Give it a quick spray. Kind of do a finger press to get those seams rolled out to the edge. And you have a great right angle stitch. And now, with this one, we're going to cut from the inside another 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to find opportunities to use this in the future. This is just kind of a quick teaching of the fundamentals, and then you'll be able to refer back to this when you come across it in an application. So for this guy, you only need to just do a quick clip in, not all the way to the thread. So you see how I kind of got right in there. And now we can turn it right side out. Maybe give it a quick spray. And just like with these outside curves, you're going to want to leave the fabric down flat and just press away that top layer first, so you can get your seam out as far as it goes. Okay, now that you've got the first press, really turn it right side out. And hit it with your iron again. Okay, and so just like we did with the curves, we've got an outside corner and an inside corner at the 90-degree angle. Go ahead and put those in your book too. And now your pretty little book has curves where we just kind of said inside curve with notching, outside curve with clipping, and we have corners. So you've got pages 3 and 4 done now.